Did you dream of dating Dylan McKay? Or maybe you were Donna Martin's other BFF?
Oh my God.
Or did you ever think who you might hang out with at CU? I mean, I know Pete wishes he dated Claire.
I really am a Claire.
Yeah, we clearly all know that. So, what's your story? We want to know. Check it. On April 7th, for our 1-year anniversary, the Beverly Hills 90210 show will present Story Slam 90210, in which you pitch your story. Charles Rosen and Larry Mullen will then take your fantasy and make it into a reality by developing your idea. So, how do you play? Send us a 30-second or less video via DM to any of our social media platforms pitching your story. Then, some lucky winners will get to be on the show and have their stories developed by the writers. So don't miss Story Slam 90210 on April 7th.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey Beverly Hills 90210 fans, stop what you're doing right now, because it's time to dive deep into 90 News. All the latest news and rumors coming out of your favorite zip code. With your hosts, Pete Ferrero and Melanie Rose. Oh my God, I can't believe what I just heard.
Okay, here we are back again on 90 News. Melanie, it's good to see you. It's Friday.
Yes.
How are things going in the world of Melanie Rose?
Things are good. It's been a busy week, a little challenging with the time change, having children, but we're all adjusting and excited for the weekend ahead. It's a beautiful day here in Southern California. So, yay.
Yes. I'm also struggling with the time change here this week. A very busy week, lots of things happening. On our show, Brian stopped by, and I thought that was really a lot of fun. It's always good to see him.
Yes.
We're going to play a little clip from that, but we covered all things. The Little Fish, I thought it was a really, really great episode this past week, and we got a good one coming. Who are we bringing on first?
Let us bring on Larry and Charles.
All right.
Well, hello. Good Friday morning.
Hey,
Here we
guys.
are.
Yes.
All right. Before we talk about last week, let's talk about Story Slam, because we haven't talked about it enough yet. Story Slam 90210 is coming around, and this is super exciting because this is for the first time fans are going to get to live out whatever their craziest 90210 fantasy is. Did you want to date Dylan? Maybe you worked at the Peach Pit. Maybe you had a thing going with Willie. I don't know.
Who knows?
I was thinking about Felice for myself, but it's all right.
Oh, I would love to hear your two, where the two of you would fit into the story, your story 902 of 90210. I'd love to hear that. But this is going to give fans an opportunity to play a game with us for our 1-year anniversary show on April 7th. So all you have to do is just submit a 30-second video. If it's a little longer, it's fine. Just get it all out, a beginning, middle, and end, telling us where do you see yourself in the world of Beverly Hills 90210. And then on the anniversary show on April 7th, Charles and Larry are going to take a look at it and develop it further for you. So it's going to be a lot of fun. This is just supposed to be a super fun event for celebrating the 1 year, and we want you guys to be involved, and this is a fun way. So Charles, what do you think, man? What do you think about Story Slam?
Well, I'm hoping that that our fan base, who seem to know so much about what it takes to write and character developments and what they like or not, can turn the mirror onto themselves and say, yeah, but this is what I would be doing. This is what I would want to do, and not be intimidated by, whether it's perfect or not. I mean, one of the reasons that all writers, know two things. One, writer is rewriting, and two, that it's good to get, feedback and develop, and it's a collaborative process. Larry and I we both like to, we both can face the blank page by ourselves, but we also like to collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
We always like to collaborate. So we'll collaborate with you guys. But you gotta get through the gauntlet first.
It's a big party on the 7th.
I was thinking, so you can put yourself in a story, but you can also create a character kind of like yourself too. It doesn't actually have to be yourself.
Right.
But, I was thinking about for myself, and I'm looking more age appropriate, Chuck. I wasn't going to go for like Jenny or Janet. I'm thinking about the parents now for myself and how I would fit into one of the stories. Like, I just got to think about one. Maybe it's in the season with Felice and Ray or whatever. And somehow I'm the bridge after Donna gets pissed off that she somehow runs into me, and then we have a whole adventure, with a beginning, middle, and end, and she ends up back. But I end up, okay, I did sleep with Felice. Okay, it happened in the episode. And frankly speaking, I didn't call her the next day either. So that was it. But then she went back to Doc Martin, and everything was fine back in 90210.
I love it.
Okay.
And you don't have any problem, Larry, that this whole great affair that you had with her was on the cutting room floor.
I know. I need a problem there. Yeah, I didn't want to fully develop it, Chuck, but I wanted to just give an idea how I was launching myself into a story. I didn't quite have it worked out.
A concept. It's a concept.
But Chuck is right. We need, because he was on the cutting room floor, I need some conflict. You need goal, conflict, disaster, dilemma, reaction, decision. The classic Greek wheels of drama. I'll repeat it again. Goal, conflict, disaster,
I will say
transition, reaction, dilemma, decision.
Story. Larry, I would love to have seen that story. Maybe if it happened when she offered Ray the $10,000 to go away, and you were in the middle of all that. Oh my God!
I'm thinking of something like that. I haven't totally thought of it. That would be the idea for Story Slam 90210.
Yeah, just to have a little money. Fun. You worked like the puppet. You took the money. Why not?
Took the money. Actually, Donna gave me the money to not see Felice. It was exactly the opposite. Well, he was giving the money to Ray. Donna was giving her money, giving me money to not see Felice because I was having an affair with her. Right. So there's the story. There's the unknown story in season 5. Okay.
I think it's great. So we want to know what yours are, and all you have to do to play is to send us a video to any of our social media accounts, and we will take it from there. And then Melanie is going to help decide who is going to come on the show and who's going to get their stories pitched. So it's really best to just talk to Melanie about your video.
Send them to the 90210 show socials, and I will take it from there, and we'll see who ends up on the show on April 7th.
But listen, Melanie doesn't have enough going on in her life, so just feel free to DM her 100 questions.
Also, while you're there, follow me at Media Melanie, and we can get connected.
Hey, the other thing I wanted to say, guys, I didn't even tell you this, but we now have a new tier on the Patreon. If you just want to be a part of the After Dark Zooms and you don't care about the content and all that stuff, for just $3 a month, you can just come on into the Zooms. Every week we've been doing these. So that's a new thing going on Patreon. If you don't,
Larry, you and I are worth 75 cents a show. According to and Melanie.
I know.
But we get a lot of people that say, I just wish I could come into the After Darks. Well, now you can. Come on.
$3. It's barely even a Starbucks, right?
We all wear pants.
We do most of the time.
Most of the time.
All right, this has been great. What else do you have for them, Melanie?
We just wanted to recap this week's episode really quick, the CU 101. We had some great guests on. I loved hearing from Gil and from Matthew and from
Zachary.
From Zachary. That's right. We had a really full show. Was it great for you guys to reconnect with some of these people?
Larry?
Yeah, I really glad you guys tracked down Gil Shilton. I mean, I really, both actors were just so forthcoming and seem to be really good with where they are in life and everything. And it was fun to be with them. But Gil is somebody who directed one of our favorite episodes, Little Fish. He was in The Fire, and he can be a little bit of a hermit, I think. It took a while to track him down. So to be actually being able to see him and talk to him, and just like when he was the director and I was the producer, actually correct one of his opinions, or at least challenge one of his opinions. That's how it always was. You got a sense of what it was like to work with me, because if I had an opinion, unless it was very impolitic to open my mouth, I was going to express it.
And you did certainly this week.
I did.
Yes. And Gil had some great behind the scenes insights. I loved it. He was a great guest.
I was really thrilled with that episode in a lot of ways, because first of all, they had the two actors had their experiences on set when they couldn't remember their lines. Like classic actor things where you have one line and you do taking, you finally everything goes right in the blocking and you forget the one line. It's like we've written this scene, Chuck. I'm sure we have, but it's so classic.
And Larry, were you impressed that I knew that it was Richard Lang who was the director?
Yeah, absolutely. Because he was a sit-down director. He was a sit-down director because he was a heavy-set man. He never kind of stood up. My impression of Richard was sitting down all the time. Right. But Gil, the way he handled actors, and I should say, I got some wonderful feedback on Gil's stuff, even from Catherine Cannon. Wrote in on social media how delighted she was to see Gil, how he was one of her favorite directors. And then I sent the comments to Gil, and he was touched, and I put him together with Catherine. It was really sweet. But I thought Gil's whole idea about stepping back and let the actors who know the characters better than he did, let them do their stuff, and he could edit whatever and move the camera, which he felt confident in. And I also love the fact I never thought about where the camera was on the pier. He had a pipe going.
I never thought about that.
So you can look it up there. You have the classic shot of the two of them looking up from the ocean's point of view, is what he said. I thought that was cool. And Zach and Matthew, and then of course Brian driving in gave so much energy. It was like we had planned that, and it was just really wonderful. Brian is just such a great spirited guy, and he loves seeing his old colleagues. And there's not one actor near his age in Hollywood that he did not work with before 90210. That's the shocking thing. Yeah. Everyone there is always a reunion for him.
Yeah, he really is also talking about a guy who's in a good spot in his life. He really likes the interaction and clearly I think really likes people. I mean, that's you can't teach that, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got such an appreciation for fans and people. He's just so wonderful to see. He's such a good dude. I also love the last few weeks we're running into things where we invite two people on the show and they know each other or have a story about each other, and we have no idea that that's even a thing. And like then they go at each other. I got a story about you. I got a story about you. Like that's been a fun thing happening for the last few weeks.
Yes.
But you know what else was cool, Larry? In the After Dark and through all of the chats and the comments, everybody talking about how much they loved the writing of The Little Fish. After you left,
very flattering. Yeah, I love that. Sure.
And during the After Dark, a lot of people said that to you. And then after you left the After Dark, because you had a very important thing, dog thing, they continued to go on about it and just say whoever was next to speak said something so beautiful. I wish that you had heard that. She just really was touched by the writing of that episode. So doing this podcast must be gratifying, that a script that you wrote for Beverly Hills 90210 some 30 years ago, it's getting all this stuff. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, Chuck and everybody on the staff is also, to be congratulated on that.
Of course.
I think they all think that the writers just never ran through my typewriter. Not this one, but I love it when we talk about, wow, that was a great script that Jillian Horvath wrote. The bar, I
remember Jillian Horvath
about them at the Peach Pit. But as I said, clearly up, I hired Larry with the hope that he would be the fireballer, the ace, and little did I know that he would not only be that, but the manager, the shortstop, and batted cleanup. The whole thing. I mean, become a lifelong friend, which is
we were
actually more important than even the years we spent together.
Yeah, and it should be noted. I'm probably not like Chuck, but I don't really have a lot of friends in the business, so I really cherish.
I had one. He's not my friend anymore. So this is it. That's why I write a script. I got nobody to fucking give it to anymore. I have a few friends who are pretty powerful agents, and they'll read stuff. But outside of that, because I think both of us made a choice. I know I really did. That I once got vilified from my agent, like saying to me that I had to go spend more time with people going out to dinner in the business. Why aren't I doing that more? Did you ever get that, Larry?
I wouldn't know how to do that. I just was never. That was a weakness in my game. The schmooze game was not very strong.
People went out every single night, and to do that, what did you do? You left your kids home. And when your artery shuts down at 43, you got a choice. Am I going to spend it with the develop executive who I can't stand, or be in the backyard playing catch with my daughter?
Yes.
It was a very good softball player.
You made a good choice, Chuck.
Really. Why don't we also talk about what's coming up next week, which is the Pit episode?
Next week again, we circle back to a very, very Beverly Hills episode. Not only was it directed by an alum of Beverly Hills High School, Dan Attias. It was talking about the Peach Pit, but thinking about the institution where all the kids hung out getting torn down right about the time we were making it. The man who played the developer was the beloved and famous high school drama teacher at Beverly Hills High School. And we're going to bring all those things together, plus Liz Vassy, who was very got her first role and went on to have a really fine career, starred in CBS sitcoms, things like that. And we'll do all things Beverly Hills.
Yeah, it's exciting. Liz Vassy will be with us. She plays the developer's daughter. Okay. So that's really exciting, and that's going to be on Wednesday. We're gonna do a watch along on Tuesday of that episode, and we might have someone join us on that too. So
we might have some special guests. This is
special guest join us on the watch along,
because The Pit and the Pendulum is the name of the episode, and it is very Joey Tata centric. A lot having to do with the father-son conflict in the Walsh house, and we saw a little bit of that earlier when we did East Side Story, and when Brandon gets his is channeling me and gets very political in his conversations. That one had to do about sweatshops. This one has to do about developers. And,
it's a really great episode. It's one of my favorites, and it's
and when we do the episode on Wednesday night, I'll hold off now. But there are two things about it that make it a really an important 90210 episode, surprisingly so.
Very fascinating stuff, and I have some great pictures from Jill's collection, and so we're still putting this episode together. It's going to be a lot of fun. Wednesday night, make sure you tune in. All right, my man. Good seeing you both.
We got the nice weekend coming up, and go UCLA. We won an overtime game yesterday.
Yeah, you probably were surprised.
I was shocked. It was so great.
Yeah.
it was the only
and then those of us who graduated from college, of course, we're really happy that the Los Angeles Lakers seem to have their mojo together, even with Anthony Davis out for weeks. It doesn't matter. We're a very good basketball team. We may not be the world. We may not win the world championship again, but at least it's good sports viewing.
Was LeVar Ball in the stands? I guess not.
I don't know about that. And he's the young man, LaMelo. That is
great.
He's really good. But you know who really is even better? LeBron James. So that was.
You mean the owner of the Red Sox? The owner of the Red Sox.
I saw that. He knows so much about baseball.
That's great.
Well, speaking before I let you guys leave and indulge me in your baseball teams,
I'm very happy.
Spring training has started.
You guys, Chuck's team is so loaded. It's just unbelievable. His starting pitching, but the Red Sox are hitting the ball. I'm excited about that. What about your team, Melanie?
Padres are doing pretty good. We've got a couple little injuries. I haven't caught the last couple spring training games, but I did get to stage manage for the first 5 of them. And it's been great to watch. Cannot wait for opening day. And it's just going to be so great to have baseball back, and fans will be watching. I cannot wait for baseball season 2.
Are you going to the game?
Anybody who's got Melanie's contact information, just hit her up for tickets.
Oh boy!
I love that you've thrown all this on Melanie. DM your video, and also questions about the contest, and also any baseball ticket needs.
Except I really can't help with tickets.
Have you been watching your spring training, Chuck? Are you happy with your team? I mean, is it as good as advertised?
I go through every sport the same way. It starts on the day it starts.
Oh, really? Oh, I obsess.
I read about it in the paper. I don't watch one thing that they do until it's
I
love it too, Larry. I mean,
football, basketball, and baseball.
And don't forget, our spring training sports show is coming up on March 31st, which is going to be so much fun for all of us, being that we're all big sports fans, and tying in those 90210 sports characters and themes. It's going to be so fun.
Really will be.
Just want to say my Mets are doing okay too. We had an injury pop up, and so that was a dramatic turn of events yesterday. But we'll see how it all plays out. I am looking forward to it. I know we're going to cover spring training in that episode too. So, which is an episode of 90210, not we're not gonna cover spring training in depth. The episode of 90210. Yeah.
Right.
So that will be a lot of fun. All right, cool guys.
Yes. All right. Have a great weekend. Thank you guys.
Have a
We'll
good one, everybody.
see you next week.
All the
See you
news that's
later.
fit and lit.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Boom and boom. All right.
There we go. Oh, hey, Pete, you know what? Before we move on, why don't we play Caitlin's reenactment video from this week since we didn't have a chance to play it on the Wednesday show?
Okay.
Oh, please, like you're the big cheese expert. You know, maybe not even brie, maybe more like a semi-soft Camembert left on a buffet. Whatever. Or a Gorgonzola, which gets sweaty when left in the heat. Like somebody else that I know. I mean, a proper label indicating that a product be stored in a cool place is not too much to ask for, is it? It was an honest mistake.
I love Caitlin. She is so good. She's, of course, one of our 90210 hunters, and she started now making these videos for the podcast, which is amazing.
She's my spirit animal.
Aw. I see she bought a wig last week. I cannot wait to see the wig in action. I think she's really elevating her game, and her forthcoming videos will be even better.
Yes, I can't wait. Maybe it looked like a Kelly wig.
Could have been Kelly. I thought Donna when I first saw it, but we'll see. TBD, right?
That's right. Okay,
Yes.
What else do we have?
Well, we have another guest coming on today, and they are going to discuss 9021 OMG.
Hello,
Hey, Shari.
Hey, Shari.
Hey, guys.
How are you? Good to see you. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. I'm well, thank you. How are you guys?
All good here.
Great. Nice to have you back. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Thanks
it
for
takes me
having
to find that detail there.
No, it's okay.
All right, so a lot of things happened this week with 9021 OMG. I saw that they were all over the place with a news story that broke. So why don't you kind of talk me through what happened this week?
Okay, I've got a whole spiel prepared. So, as many fans already know, this week's episode of 90210 OMG was a bit of a doozy for two reasons. One, Jenny and Tori reacted to some negative feedback they've received from listeners. And two, they reacted to recent comments made by Vanessa Marcel about her time on the show in seasons 9 and 10. So here's what went down. Last month, Vanessa did an Instagram live interview with a fan during which she spoke about Zara. Yes,
our
another
buddy
reporter.
Zara.
Yes.
Love you, Zara.
We're going to give her the props. She didn't get props in some of the places, but with Zara Brown.
No, she did not.
It's awesome. Yeah.
During which Vanessa spoke about working on Beverly Hills 90210, feeling unliked amid alleged cattiness, and she specifically alleged that Jenny said something to her in particular about not walking around like someone who isn't liked. Now, several weeks later, Jenny and Tori were informed of Vanessa's comments, though they never actually took the time to watch Vanessa's interview. To Jenny's credit, she didn't outright deny saying something like that to Vanessa. Rather, she admitted that she didn't remember whether she did or didn't. We know she doesn't have the greatest memory, and she said that she doesn't actually see the alleged comment as something bad anyway. Tori, though, flat out denied on Jenny's behalf that Jenny ever said it, and also rejected the idea that Vanessa had an unpleasant experience on the set and that she even quit the show because of it. It got a bit heated, with Tori even admitting she was riled up. Various media outlets picked up their comments, and discussions ignited among fans on different platforms, Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, and a lot of the comments were attacking Jenny and Tori and bringing up other allegations about what it was like working with them back in the day. And here's my take. None of us was around back then when all this stuff with Vanessa or Tiffany or any other cast member did or didn't take place. We did not witness it. I wasn't there. Pete, were you there?
I was not there.
Melanie, were you there?
Not there.
No, we were not there. So we can't possibly know what's true and what isn't. All of these stories over the years are she said, and we know there are three sides to every story. Her side, and the truth. And they're each entitled to their recollections, of course, but we have to acknowledge each person's recollection is biased, even just subconsciously. And because we weren't there, we won't ever actually know the truth. So I don't feel any of us are in a position to pass judgment on allegations we didn't actually witness. We can't possibly know who is right and who is wrong and who is exaggerating and who isn't. But what we can do is react to the public behavior we are witnessing today. It doesn't change my love of the show. It doesn't change my love of Kelly or Donna. It doesn't change the fact that they are gigantic parts of my all-time television show.
Interesting stuff. Interesting take. I love a couple things. I love that Tori blindly took
Defended
this
Jenny.
mafia approach to the conversation.
Yeah.
She was very much like, you didn't say it. You didn't even say you weren't even fucking there. It was very.
Wow, that was an impression, Pete.
That was the Italian version of
It was
Tori.
very good, fellas, and so I appreciate Tori's loyalty in the situation. So they get riled up before they come on the air to talk about this thing, and they probably really don't even care very much about the Vanessa story. You know what I mean? Like, it's just another thing that someone said that may or may not be true. But because they're doing this podcast now, they're forced to kind of deal with these comments that are popping up. Mm-hmm. And so maybe the riled up attempt at humor was a misfire. Maybe they were, trying to be silly and make a joke of it, and it came across the wrong way. Because I have to say, my experience of dealing with everybody in the 90210 cast, from outside of Dina Meyer, has been completely positive. They're all very sweet. They're all very loving and appreciative. And they're all, I would say, my experience of meeting my heroes on 90210 has been an absolute pleasure. What happens with this show too, which is, and I guess it's just because of the nature of the show with triangles, we kind of invented the teams concept, right? I'm Team Kelly. I'm Team Brenda. So no matter what Jenny does personally, there's always going to be a portion of Team Brenda fans or Team Vanessa fans or Team Tori fans that are going to, sort of have an opinion about whatever she does, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
If it's about Shannon, or if it's about Donna or whatever. So I think we all just need, in this time, I think what we've learned is that we all really need to just learn how to love each other and accept each other.
And take a chill pill.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
All the way around. And I don't mean that at Tori and Jenny, because I love their show. I think they're awesome. I think that the two of them are just really sweet. And I don't know. I'm curious to see how it plays out this week, to see if they
acknowledge it. Yeah. And so Pete, you're approaching your 1 year. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it took you a number of weeks or even months to find your footing here?
I think it took us 32 weeks. Yeah, I think
that's a very specific number.
Well, the 32nd episode was the Super Show. And I think that once we got to the Super Show and we did that and ran a 3.5 hour show and people came in and out and everybody we all found our footing. And then it was like, well, we did that, so we can certainly do any interview. All right. This was great.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Do you have anything else going on here that you want to plug away?
Tonight I'm actually doing a private Zoom chat with a co-executive producer from Dawson's Creek, Gina Fattori. She also worked on Gilmore Girls and Parenthood and Californication. So I'm really excited for Dawson's Creek fans to speak with her. And then, as Melanie has mentioned, next month we're teaming up. We're going to be doing a big trivia event that's all about Beverly Hills 90210. I currently do quarterly teen drama trivia that's on all of the teen dramas I cover, but this one is just for you guys.
Yay! And more details coming on that soon. We're going to finalize everything this weekend, and we're going to get more info out next week on that.
You have a date?
Not yet.
But
Not
April.
Yet.
April. A Friday night in April.
Yes. I just got my baseball schedule, so I'm just trying to work it all out. Thank you, Shari. We will see you again soon.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
Did you dream of dating Dylan McKay? Or maybe you were Donna Martin's other BFF.
Oh my God.
Or did you ever think who you might hang out with at CU? I mean, I know Pete wishes he dated Claire.
I really am a Claire.
Yeah, we clearly all know that. So, what's your story? We want to know. Check it. On April 7th, for our 1 year anniversary, the Beverly Hills 90210 show will present Story Slam 90210, in which you pitch your story. Charles Rosen and Larry Mullen will then take your fantasy and make it into a reality by developing your idea. So, how do you play? Send us a 30-second or less video via DM to any of our social media platforms pitching your story. Then, some lucky winners will get to be on the show and have their stories developed by the writers. So don't miss Story Slam 90210 on April 7th.
Okay, here we have this.
Yes. Oh, so that was Jason Priestley's Instagram post this week, St. Patrick's Day. Some nice corned beef and cabbage, keeping up his cooking run. He's been posting lots of delicious food pics, and this was one of them. And looks like that's a Fiesta plate. I actually own that same plate. So twinsies.
Where did you get it?
You know what? As a gift, I love the Fiesta Wear collection. I've got it in all different colors, and yeah.
But is this is this a home goods thing, or where
they sell it everywhere? You can get it at Macy's, Bed Bath and Beyond, all the major department stores. It's a pretty well-known collection. Lead-free, made in America. Fiesta Wear. They're great.
I love that he's got a Guinness there. I also indulged deeply this week in corned beef. I went to 2 local places around here, and finally are eating out because things are starting to open up again. And God, I'm totally Italian, and but when it comes to St. Patrick's Day, I am all in and like
doubling down on the corned beef, huh?
Yes. Okay, and then we have.
So this picture was on Tori's Instagram. She announced that she's going to be a part of BET's show Bigger in season 2. It premieres on April 22nd, and she's playing Shoshana, who is a love interest of Tristan Winger. So you can go check her Instagram for more pics on that. But exciting that Tori's going to be in another show soon. So something we'll have to put on our watch list.
So beautiful. I just absolutely love her. I mean,
she is. It's a great picture. Great
fantastic
picture.
Even this is great.
Yes, her son Liam turned 14 this week, and she posted a whole carousel of adorable photos of him throughout the years, and talked about being the mom to a 14-year-old. And it's funny, when your kids are born, I mean, you don't realize how fast time flies, right? So 14 years later, she's got a bunch of kids, and her oldest is 14. So what a cute picture. Love that.
Yes. So, Tori, prom date. What's up? You got a prom to go to.
I can't wait to see what dress she wears, Pete. It's gonna be good.
I can't wait either. Okay, look, this is a tough one to talk about, Melanie. Also in the news, this is our friend Lindsay Price's mom.
Yeah, she talked about how her mom is such a beautiful person, and that her and everybody who is Asian has been targeted, and how awful that is. And she posted about the Stop Asian Hate campaign. You've probably seen it on social media, and I just think it's very sad we even have to have such a campaign and talk about this, and that people would treat other human beings in such a terrible way. So, props to all the celebrities who've shared the Stop Asian Hate. I believe Hilary Swank, Cress Williams, a couple of others have also posted about it. So, it's good to get the word out, but it's also awful that we have to put a word out to not treat people bad. Stop Asian Hate. Yes.
It just really upsets me. I don't understand. Well, I speculated why I think this is happening. It's just an awful situation, awful time that we're living in. I can't even imagine that this is a thing. I can't even imagine this is still happening. And
makes me sick.
It really does make me sick. And please don't DM me with your opposite opinion. If you have the opposite opinion, just lose my Instagram account. But I'm obviously totally with Lindsay, and feel for her family, and feel for so many of my friends and viewers of the show, and whoever you are in life. This is not a normal thing. And,
one of my cousins is Korean, and she lives in Massachusetts, and has experienced people calling her, racial slurs when she goes to the convenience store, on a couple of different occasions. And it's just so sad to think that people have to deal with this. So,
grow the fuck up. There's
that voice again.
All right, here's Shannon's dog.
Yes, she posted this cute vid. That's a Kong. He's a Kong killer. She throws the Kong. He chases it. Just thought we'd share. We're animal lovers here. We're all dog people. Pete, you've got more dogs than I do. And you have cats too, right?
I have a cat.
Cat. Okay, so 2 dogs, 1 cat.
That's right. Right.
Full house.
That's it. Yeah, I love them, and I love Shannon's dog too.
Did you reset your modem before we started?
I did, and here's this.
Okay. Do you know we have even more new shirts and merchandise at Beverly Hills 90210showshop.com? For instance, watch our Planet 90210 show with some sick Planet 90210 merch. Or want to celebrate at the Peach Pit? Check out this new shirt with a photo from Jill Henkel's collection. Or, oh my god, I know Claire Arnold fans are going to love this one. A little sex, rock, and really decent literature. Plus, for all you Larry Mullen fans, that's right, a Get Outta Here shirt. And don't forget about our classic designs. We keep loading it up with more items each week, so head over to Beverly Hills 90210showshop.com for all your 90210 stuff.
Oh, I should stop dancing now. The music is so catchy.
Make sure you DM Melanie.
Oh my god.
You know what was cool this week? Catching up with Brian. We talked about it at the top of the show, and knowing about this Kid 90 doc. I'm just so stoked about it.
I finally had a chance to watch it last weekend, ordered Hulu specifically to watch it, and I was not disappointed. I love Soleil. I love Punky Brewster. I love 90s celebrities. I loved seeing them all there. And she dropped some interesting stories, about some of her first sexual experiences, who they were with, and it was just, I thought it was so cute. She's just such a sweet person, and that really comes across. And let's see what Brian had to say about it since he's in it.
Brian, I want to let you know everybody saw they saw the Kid 90 film, and everybody loves it here. Really good stuff on Hulu. What could you tell people about Kid 90? It's a documentary that you're in that's going around. That's Punky Brewster.
Yeah, Soleil was out of her mind. She and her brother they carried a camcorder everywhere back when people were like, what do you mean a camcorder? Like that technology didn't even exist. And she had it, and she filmed everything, and we just never thought anything of it. It just wasn't, none of us had the foresight to think like, hey, we can film all this stuff, save the tapes. She recorded everything, and she saved every diary that she ever had, and every photograph and everything. And then she made this documentary, 30 years later.
It's crazy.
35 years later. I'm old. Well, I knew she was working on it, obviously, because we did the interview, but we did the interview like 3 years ago. So wow. It was one of those things where people are like, hey, I want to do a documentary. And you go, that sounds great. And you go, I want to interview you. And it's like, of course, because it'll, nothing will ever come of it. And then all of a sudden she was like, it's done. And I was like, you made it? It's amazing. But she's one of those people that when she puts her mind to something, she does it completely. She sees it all the way through. And she manifests all these amazing things, and she's just been an unbelievable person in my life for that reason. I mean, she holds her own space in time. She's a complete one of a kind character, and to know her and be in her presence is a really amazing experience. And I can't imagine not having her in my life. I had lunch with her yesterday. Wow. She's really cool. She's a really cool person, and I think that comes across in the documentary.
Great stuff with Brian. Always good seeing him. Todd, I don't know if the bleeping was necessary, but fine.
I kind of enjoyed it. I don't know.
Well, it just makes it sound so much worse.
Right. This is true.
We just dropped one F word, maybe.
Yes.
No, I dug it. I thought it's a great doc, and I think Brian's really good in it. I love what she says about Brian being a friend, and I think he's a great person.
Yep. Oh, hey, Pete, speaking of documentaries, you've got one coming out pretty soon too, huh?
I do have one. For that. Yeah. It's called Her Name is Chef. It's on 6 different female chefs, and I will definitely play some trailer stuff.
Is this Chef Fatima? And I'm like, yes. And she was like, hi, I was actually doing some research and your name popped up and we're actually casting for the next season.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, what?
What is unique about you?
Justin! everything.
And the recipient of $10,000 is Fatima Ali, and she's right here.
You know, being 28 and like not knowing like what was gonna happen in my life. You have to find your own distraction to kind of get through it. And for me, that's food.
Over the years, the media keeps asking me like, well, where are all the female chefs? I'm like, why are you so blind? There are so many female chefs. I don't know why people even ask the question.
As a woman, you have maybe a few extra layers to push through to get to where you're going, but there's a will, there's a way.
It's just a culture that a kitchen brings that is just like very macho and everyone's like always whistling. But it's also like for me, I was always just like, well, you need to be able to handle that.
There's no reason to have so much screaming going on in a kitchen, aggressively throwing plates because I'm such a bad chef. My whole identity is wrapped up in food. I'm crap at this. That sucks. Sucks.
There's a couple guys that it took me a really, really long time to get them to accept the fact that I was a woman. You'd want to walk out of there and cry and be like, I can't believe these guys just tortured me all day. I was like, no way are these guys gonna break me.
The culture of restaurants has been very bro-ified, sexist, racist jokes, it's okay.
To make the whole team stop because they, said the wrong thing to the server, like I just want to punch those people. It's like, come on.
I was still so conscious about maybe not having the same qualifications as my male counterparts, but the truth is that if anything, I probably was even more qualified than them.
I need to prove myself. I need to make sure that everyone respects me. Then you have to work that much harder to prove yourself.
It made me earn my respect.
Don't you think that that's such a female perspective to earn the title?
This is the story of a woman, and her name is Chef.
People are always like, asking about what it's like to be a female chef. I'm like, well, let's go talk to a bunch of female chefs and find out.
But it's going to be out pretty soon, actually. And
Can't wait to watch it.
Thank you for that. Thank you for acknowledging that too. And
Of
if
course.
you want more details, hernameschef.com. You can find out all of the details about that documentary. Thank you.
Yay.
Okay. There's just so much to cover this week. It's
Yes.
kind of overwhelming. I mean, like I'm literally like, Jesus, what do I do? Babyface? Is that what I do now?
Babyface, yes. So Babyface was honored with a trustee award at the Grammys this week. It was nice to see him on there. Of course, he was in season 4 of Beverly Hills 90210. So, it made the news. And thanks to Shari, who texted me during the Grammys to let me know he was on. Got a picture of his Grammy.
Our girl T Swift looking good.
Oh my God, she's always looking good. Oh boy. Wow.
Always.
I just wish I knew if she was a Dylan or a Brandon or if she was a fan of the show. I mean, so many questions to ask,
Well, you know what though? I would just, I just have to say how great that record is. She should have totally won every category.
Right. And her performance was great. I love the medley. I love the songs that she chose. And it's good she won. But yeah, she could have won more. Definitely. But that's okay.
This happened.
Yes. Oh, this was really cute. Ian posted this on his Instagram this week, and I will read the caption. Hey, Bran, what do you call a teacher who won't fart in public? I don't know, Steve. What? A private tutor. Ha 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 ha.
I love these two. It's always good to see the guys sharing in their
bromance.
Yes.
Brandmance.
I couldn't think of what I was trying to say. Okay. Jenny's shooting a show.
Jenny, yes. Show, movie, not sure. We don't know exactly what it is. Although you can go to her Instagram and check out some of her co-stars who are tagged in the post. She had a couple of different posts working this week. So I know I'm excited to find out what she's filming because obviously that will go right on the watch list.
Yeah. I can't wait. I love seeing the stuff that she's in.
Yes. And speaking of our friends in TV shows, I'm so glad you pulled that picture up because that was where I was going. Tiffany actually starred in Alexa and Katie, which was on Netflix. And she won, or actually I should say the show won a Kids' Choice Award from Nickelodeon. I believe the show is now off the air. It's not airing anymore, but the show did win Best Show. favorite kids TV show. Favorite kids TV show is the award they won. And Tiffany's character name was Lori Mendoza. So if you've got kids, it's a good teen show. Check it out on Netflix, Alexa and Katie. No more new episodes, but the seasons that are existing are there. And speaking of Tiffany, another picture that you probably have, season 2 of Deliciousness is going to be airing on, looking at my notes. Why can't I find it? Oh, March 22nd on MTV, Deliciousness season 2. Of course, we've got one of our favorite Office people on the panel for her show as well, Angela Kinsey. That's her name, right? Angela Kinsey.
That's right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
I
And
saw that. Like, I didn't even see her in the picture, and then when you said that, I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, that's cool."
Yep, yeah, she's in it. And I love Tiffany's wardrobe on Deliciousness. They really go with some kind of out there wardrobe choices, but she pulls them all off, and it's a really cute show. Actually, my kids love that show, so we'll be definitely tuning in for season 2, which starts again March 22nd on MTV.
Exciting. Love seeing Tiffany doing all the things that she's doing. Okay, Melanie, I feel like we've gotten through everything.
Yes, we sure have. Thanks to Charles, Larry, and Shari for joining us today. And we hope everyone has a great weekend. Don't forget to get your Story Slam videos in. DM them to any of the Beverly Hills 90210 show social channels. Pete and I will be reviewing them. And again, we'll pick our favorites to come on the 1-year anniversary show on April 7th. And we cannot wait for that.
And here's that clip again of what you need to do.
Did you dream of dating Dylan McKay? Or maybe you were Donna Martin's other BFF?
Oh my god.
Or did you ever think who you might hang out with at CU? I mean, I know Pete wishes he dated Claire.
I really am a Claire.
Yeah, we clearly all know that. So, what's your story? We want to know. Check it. On April 7th, for our 1-year anniversary, the Beverly Hills 90210 show will present Story Slam 90210, in which you pitch your story. Charles Rosen and Larry Mullen will then take your fantasy and make it into a reality by developing your idea. So, how do you play? Send us a 30-second or less video via DM to any of our social media platforms pitching your story. Then, some lucky winners will get to be on the show and have their stories developed by the writers. So don't miss Story Slam 90210 on April 7th.
All right, Melanie, this has been really fun. Good seeing you this week. Hey, I just want to tell everybody, I have not, for some unknown reason, the 90 News audio has not been posted for whatever reason to everybody who listens to the podcast for the last few weeks. They were there and then they aren't there. So I'm just making sure that they all get posted today. So the last 2 weeks of 90 News, obviously, if you watch on YouTube, this is not an issue for you. But if you listen to it and you drive, it is an issue for you. So I'll make sure that the 3 get posted, including this one.
All right. Well, with that, thank you everybody for tuning in again. And we are 9021 out.